I volunteered to go in the Navy. And then when we got to Scotland, they were looking for 100 volunteers. And I volunteered again to get into this outfit, demolition outfit. And from there, from Scotland, we went down to Devon, England. And we used to train at Land's End in England because the beach was almost similar to Omaha Beach. And we did that for I forgot how many weeks. And then we went to Plymouth, and we knew the invasion was on. They told us that the invasion was on. And we sailed from Plymouth over to Normandy. And our job was to blow up these obstacles. They had what they call hedgehogs, and then they had these telephone poles with a ramp, and on top of the telephone pole was a mine. That was for when the tide came in, the boats would just slide up there and the mine would explode. And our job was to blow up 50-yard gaps so the infantry could land. As we were crossing the channel, it was rough.
Take your time. Just a lot of choppy seas and...
Yes.
Yeah.
I carried a rifle and a web belt with canteen and ammunition and a rifle. And I forgot how many pounds of explosives I had on my back. I believe they called it tetratol. And as I got to the ramp with a small boat that was in to land, just as I jumped into the water, there was this explosion. And while I was underwater, maybe a couple of seconds, someone pulled me out, and I couldn't find anything. I couldn't find any of the crew that I was attached to. The number of the small boat we were on was 13. I found out later that they were all killed. I was the only one left. I managed to crawl up the beach, and because the tide went out very far, but when it came in quite fast, and it left a very small beach. And that's when, as I was crawling in the beach, I looked back and I could see these tanks that were supposed to float. They just sank. They went right to the bottom. And I got up on the beach, and one of the tanks made it, but it got stuck, and it lost its thread on all the small rocks. And as I was laying there, I couldn't find any Navy men. And you could tell the Navy men because on our helmets we had a blue stripe that went around the helmet. And as I was laying there were no foxholes. I mean, the planes, believe me, not one bomb dropped on that beach. So everybody was laying down, and it seemed like every time a shell, you could tell when the shells were going over your head because they'd make a swishing sound. But the ones that were close, you never heard that sound. And there were some Army men about 10, 15 feet from me laying down with a medic, and an 88, they called them 88s, the shells hit them. and they were gone, and there were body parts all over the place. I remember this he must have been an officer, because he said there are two kinds of people in the speech: those that are dead and those that are going to be dead. I remember that. And we stayed there a few days, and that was about it.